Marriage as
Hi,
instituted
friends.
by God,
Good morning
they
and welcome
become
to this
one.
minute reflection with Father Augustine on the 27th Sunday of Ordinary Time, Year B. The Catechism of the Catholic Church, number 1602, begins by saying of marriage that the whole scripture begins with the creation of man and woman in the image and likeness of God and ends with the vision of the wedding feast of the Lamb in Revelation chapter 19 from verse 9. So it means that the whole of scripture is about the relationship of God with his people and the aim for God of the creation of the humankind. So it is about us taking part in the relationship of God. We remember that at creation, it was a relationship. God calls together the Trinity. Let us make man in our own image and likeness. And thus, sharing in the likeness and image of God, we become a family. Therefore, Genesis chapter 2 from verse 24 writes, a man, and I add a woman also, has to leave his father and mother and cling to his wife and husband, and they become one. So, the whole of today's liturgy, of today's homily, is centered on this. There shouldn't be any divorce. And St. Augustine writes about marriage, of the three goods of marriage: bonum prolis, bonum fidelis, and bonum sacramenti. Bonum prolis is geared towards the procreation of children. So, sex in marriage would no longer be just an end in itself. It will become a means to an end, to the procreation and education of children. Not just procreation, but education of children. Bonum fides has to do with fidelity, conjugal fidelity of each spouse to the other person. You have to be chaste in your marriage. You don't have to have any other sexual partners in any way, of any kind. It only has to be within the confines of you and your husband. And then bonum sacramenti, as we see in Genesis chapter 2:24, it is sealed. It is a covenant between you two, and it is inseparable before God and man. Jesus makes reference to this in the gospel of today, when he said, have you not heard from the creation that God made them man and woman, and for this reason a man must live, everything in line. The problem we have of marriage today is that people no longer want to go into the marriage for the good of the other person. They do not want to make sacrifices. They do not want to place the other person first. Everyone is now selfish about the needs of marriage, and they marry because of convenience. And that is why we have an innumerable number of divorces in the world today. And if divorce would solve the problem of the society, it should have solved it by now. My dear brothers and sisters, please, go and make your home a better place. Get back to your spouse. Get back to your husband. Get back to your wife. May God bless all of us today. May his words resonate in our minds. May we make the home a better place, and so make the world and the church a better place.